Relief on the face of Jamaat Al Muslimeen leader Imam Yasin Abu Bakr as he left the High Court on Thursday. After almost 2 months, the jury at his sedition trial failed to deliver a clear verdict, leading the judge to discharge the jury and order a retrial. The 9-member all-female jury, which was sequestered for a week, commenced deliberations at the High Court just before 10 a.m. on Thursday morning and was expected to deliver a verdict 3 hours later. But upon entering the courtroom at 1 p.m., Justice Mark Mohammed indicated that the jury requested clarification on a specific term. The jury returned to deliberations and 10 minutes later, asked by Justice Mohammed whether the jurors had agreed on a verdict, the foreman answered no for all 4 of the charges, with the foreman agreeing that more time was needed. After 5.5 hours of deliberation, Justice Mohammed recalled the jury at 4 p.m. hoping for a conclusion. It would be the moment the Imam and relatives were waiting for, with eyes closed and head bent. The Jamaat Al Muslimeen leader listened as the jury foreman indicated that jurors were divided 5-4 on the count of communicating a speech with seditious intention, 6-3 on the count of inciting others to demand money by menace, and the jurors had no position yet on the last 2 counts of inciting others and endeavoring to provoke a breach of the peace. But as Justice Mohammed would later explain to the jury, given the length of time they had to deliberate and the fact that the divisions in the first 2 counts were not majorities, he believed there was sufficient evidence to show that there was no reasonable probability that if given more time, the jury would deliver a verdict. Sitting with his head still bent, Bakr listened quietly with no expression as Justice Mohammed announced that the jury was dismissed and a trial reordered. Urging the jurors to not look so glum, Justice Mohammed thanked the jury for their service, admitting it must have been an emotionally, physically and intellectually challenging time for the 9 women who were sequestered away from their families for a week. Addressing the jurors, Justice Mohammed pointed out that the jurors took their job conscientiously and applied themselves. He made it clear they had not fallen short in any way or the other. On exiting the court after the ruling, Bakr stood on the stairs of the High Court, heavily guarded by his men. Even though he indicated he would speak to the media, Bakr's men were not in agreement.
It was a long day.
No date has as yet been set for the retrial. For CNC3, I'm Ria Rambally.